Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's Ronnie with RC Bassin, and today we're going to play a little tune, baby. It's called I Got to Clean My Fishing Rods and Get Them Ready for the Season. All right, all right. Okay, hey, thanks for putting up with my craziness, messing around at the beginning of this video. Just trying to have a little fun. Hey, this is just kind of a follow-up to the first video we did on cleaning your gear, and that was to clean your bait casting reels and getting those ready in the off season. And now we're just going to follow up with a quick video on just some tips to clean your fishing rods. Yeah, you got to clean them to maintain them and get them ready for the upcoming season. Okay, so the first thing, a lot of folks don't think about cleaning your fishing rods. You got to do that. One, you want to protect your investment. Two, you want to make sure they function because they're a critical piece of that rod and reel combo that you're going to use when you're out there on the water. Just think of it that like these are your tools for your craft, right? And you want to make sure your tools are in tip-top shape at all times. Now, I'm really bad about not cleaning my rods until all the way at the end of the season. And you can do this at any time throughout the season. And I probably should do it more than once a year. But right now, I'm just kind of doing it because it's still cold outside. It's the month of February. And just trying to get everything ready to get back on the water, probably in the month of March. So it's just the right timing for me to kind of do this, and clean up my gear. Okay, so I've just got an old FLW. That's how old this rod is, an old FLW rod, and I love this thing, and I've used it quite a bit last season, and that's what this bait caster was on that I took off in the last video I did on cleaning your bait casters. So the first thing you want to do is you really just want to wipe down the rod, and I use that Penn rod and reel cleaner that I talked about in the last video, and I got my microfiber towel. And so the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of give it a good wipe down, go over that rod, clean it, go all the way down the rod, all the way through, and just wipe it down. Get any of the gunk and dirt and grime off of it where it's been riding around on the front of the boat, in the back of the truck, or wherever I've had it. Now, something else I like to use, and I talked about this in my last video, is magic erasers. If you've not used these, I mean, they're really good for cleaning anything, but they work really well on your rods and reels. So I'm going to take and unscrew the reel holder so I can slide it all the way up and expose everything on the reel. And the reel seats get nasty. You wouldn't think they get as dirty as they do, but man, they really get gummed up and get nasty, especially if you're fishing a lot of top water or frog fishing. All that stuff gets caught up on your line, comes back, gets inside your reel, runs down onto your reel seat. You never really think about it till you take it off and look at it. So the first thing I'm going to do is just wipe everything down really good with that magic eraser, clean that reel seat. Again, go back up, just get those eyes damp, those guides, those ceramic guides. And you can see the dirt and grime that magic eraser picks up. Now, another tip, right, is if you want, this has got a cork handle. You can see it's kind of dark, from the oil in my hands and stuff like that. You can use this magic eraser and clean those cork handles. Look how clean that thing's coming. And it'll bring them almost back to looking brand new. So you can see the difference in that already, and you can tell the difference by looking at that magic eraser. So these things are great to use. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, right, is I want to go back and I want to check all the guides. And this is a good time to inspect your guides, right? Those ceramic guides, those ceramic loops inside your guides, you want to check those. Make sure they're not cracked or frayed because you don't want your line to slide across those and cut your line and lose a fish. So then I'm going to take, again, some of that reel oil, rod and reel cleaner. Put a little drop on that Q-tip, and then I'm just going to clean those guides. And while you're doing that, if you want to really inspect them and really see if they're cracked or not, you'll feel if there's something grabs that Q-tip, or if you see that there's some lint from the Q-tip left in there, you've probably got a crack in those ceramic guides on your rod. And that's a good indication that you need to replace that or get that repaired. Okay, so this one's not too bad after using that magic eraser. Not really much came out of that. And then you got your hook keeper down here. You can clean that out as well. And then just go around the threads for your reel holder. Make sure those are clean. And it looks like we got some more stuff down here on the rod handle. So we'll get that cleaned up. And really, that's about all there is to it to cleaning your rods. Just a couple of other tips. I noticed that I had this really bad habit of, grabbing a whole handful of my rods and reels, and I'd usually hold them down about right here and carry them to and from the boat. And I started noticing that this guide here would get bent, or the one at the very tip end of the rod up here would get bent, right before the end of the rod. And what I believe has been happening is, as I grab a handful of those rods and reels and carry them like that, they're getting pushed together, and I'm bending up my rod guides. So just a tip, make sure you pay particular attention to that so that you don't damage your rod and reel guides, or your rod guides, by carrying them to and from the boat like that, or just picking them up, a handful of them. And then another thing you can do to protect them is rod socks. And I really didn't use rod socks until a couple of seasons ago, and they've really made a believer out of me. It protects your rods and reels, keeps your eyes from getting bent up, and then just really takes care of them when you're transporting them. So that's it. That's the how-to on how to clean your rods. And so you couple this video with your how to clean your bait caster, and you clean your bait casters up, clean your rods up, and get them ready for the season. And you won't have any problems when you get out on the water. All right, I'm going to leave a link up here so you can go over and take a look at the other video where we talked about cleaning our bait caster and reels. And when you clean your bait caster, clean your rod, get them put back together, you're set and ready to go for the upcoming season. Hey, thanks as always for taking time out of your schedule to come over and watch these videos here at RC Bassin. If you're not already a subscriber, go down, hit that subscribe, and you can leave a comment, give us a thumbs up. I'll always try to come back and answer all your comments to the videos. And make sure you click on that notification bell so that you can get notified when we release new content to the channel. All right, thanks again for watching. Stay safe out on the water, tight lines, and hook them up.